You know, there's a lot of secondary antagonists in Dragon Ball that are pretty awesome. It's probably not something we think about often just because of how iconic the main antagonists are, but a good amount of them really bring a lot to the table. I know people meme on Raditz, but he's actually one of the best ones. Remember, he was Goku's brother, took him and Piccolo on at the same time, and introduced us to the Saiyan race. He left a massive impression, and he's not the only one either. From Tao Pai Pai's deadly skills as the world's greatest assassin, to Nappa killing off basically the entire cast, they're more than just basic mooks. Not everyone hits as hard, obviously, most of Babidi's henchmen aren't really anything special, but even then you have someone like Deborah, who still gets mad props for being the Demon King. This is what I like about Dragon Ball's secondary antagonists. Whether it's their reputation, memorability, or utilization in the narrative, they're legitimate threats that can leave an impact. I've already gone over some good examples, but I want to go more in depth with my personal favorite, the Ginyu Force. Despite their silly theatrics, the Ginyu Force isn't to be taken lightly. They're Frieza's elite, his absolute strongest men, which means something. To be the most powerful force in his galactic empire, they've probably fought numerous foes across the cosmos and came out of it all on top. They're titans, and they know it, which is why they act the way they do. They're the best of the best, so why not have some fun with it and handle it the way they want? As we'll see way later on, our characters will do the same, and they're equally as justified. Sure, this ends up biting Gerdo in the ass, but he was already stated to be the outlier. The rest are absolute monsters, and all it takes is for one of them to show it. It doesn't matter what Vegeta throws at him, Raccoon is going to take it all head on and still hit him with that silly pose just to flex. This is what I was talking about earlier. The Ginyu Force are mighty warriors with a legacy, and to topple that would not only be satisfying in its own right, but also bring our characters one step closer to the real threat of this arc. That alone makes me really like them, but if that's all there was, they wouldn't be my favorite. Forgive me for gushing, but oh my gosh, I love these dorks and their battles. Their Sentai-inspired designs and poses are iconic, hilarious, and kind of cool all at the same time. Gerdo's time-stopping and telekinesis makes for a neat fight, and the way Vegeta just axes him off is awesome. Raccoon's hammy-as-hell attitude works incredibly well in contrast to how deadly serious Vegeta is. Goku's beatdown of the Force is slick as fuck. Seriously, I love it so much. And Ginyu's body swapping makes for an interesting and unique struggle. This is why I love the Ginyu Force. They're respectable adversaries, but they're also really charming and memorable characters that bring some really good fights. Those are simple reasons, I know, but they're why I smile so much when I think about them. Part of me wishes they stuck around more, but at the same time I feel they're utilized perfectly. You see, the Ginyu Force, like pretty much everything else in the Namek arc, are meant to continue building up both Frieza and the Super Saiyan. Ultimately, this is their role as secondary antagonists. It's why Vegeta and Ginyu start wondering if Goku is the Super Saiyan. It's why Vegeta gets a Zenkai boost and kills Geese. It's why even after Goku is clearly stronger than the Ginyu Force, Frieza is still hyped up. It's why Ginyu swaps bodies with Goku, thus showing him the importance of his own nature. Their status as Frieza's elite also plays a part in this as well. It's all to continue this gradual climb to the final battle, and it's all this build-up that makes a climax as satisfying as it ends up being. This is why I think they're perfect the way they are. They serve a grander purpose within the arc, and once it's fulfilled, they don't needlessly stick around. The anime messes with this, and while it's nice to see them, it really is unnecessary. This is why I feel people should read the manga. It's just a tighter, more focused package. But I digress. When it comes down to it, these are the things that make me love Dragon Ball's secondary antagonists. They're worthwhile in their own right and enhance the arc at hand. I spent most of my time here going over the Ginyu Force because they're my favorite, but there are others that are honestly just as valid. I want to give props to Raditz and Nappa again because they really impact the story and give way to some great moments. Frankly, they don't get enough credit for it. I've already went over Raditz's merits, but to give Nappa more acknowledgement, his annihilation of most of our characters was soul-crushing, especially when he killed Piccolo, and the beatdown Goku gives him is just as good as the one he gives the Ginyu Force. 17, 18, and 16, meanwhile, are all cool characters and kick just as much ass. They're probably the most interesting and unique, too, since they're not under anyone's authority and actively go against their narrative role, since in their case, building up the big bad means getting absorbed. You might say I'm cheating with them since they run the gambit of being major antagonists to secondary and then allies all in one arc, but they still count. So yeah, while I have a favor, there's a lot of well-deserved love to go around. I apologize if this just felt like me gushing the whole time, but I just really love a lot of Dragon Ball's secondary antagonists, and just wanted to talk about them. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.